expressed are those of the program sponsors and not necessarily the views of AM830, its owners, or management.
You're listening to the Ford's Legend Community Show, brought to you by the Southern California Association of Ford Dealers, and is presented by the Chumash Casino and Resort. Here are your hosts, Greg Bell and Pep Fernandez.
Welcome into the Ford Legends Community Show. I'm Pep Fernandez.
Hey guys, and I'm Greg Bell, and I am proud to be a part of the Ram family, and probably even more important, we're proud to be a part of the Ford family. Ford has a great lineup of cars, trucks, and SUVs this year. Trust me, I know. I drive a Ford Energy Fusion. This high-tech hybrid saves me time and money at the pump. With the Rams and Ford, we are surrounded by legends, Pep.
Greg, we're going to hop in a Ford. We're going to step on the gas because we got a lot to get through today.
A lot.
And obviously the big story, the wait is over. Jared Goff will get his first start as the quarterback for the Los Angeles Rams.
Right.
What do you think about the timing? Is the time right?
Well, I can't tell you whether the time is right because we're not out there every day like Jeff Fisher. Jeff Fisher has a system, and I think we all know his system, and it's worked for him in the past. So let's just hold our breath and let's follow Jeff on this one because he's the head man. He's made the call.
What's a little curious, I thought coming out of the bye week, they would have, maybe given Jared Goff the start there, a little extra time to prepare. But instead, they wait till they get back home against a Miami team that's actually playing really good defense right now.
Well, Miami's playing good football, period. They're number 2 in the AFC East, right behind the Pats. And expect them to run the ball very efficient. That's something they've been doing extremely well. Of course, that's going against our strengths right now, our defensive front line. But, we've got that to talk about. We got to definitely dive into the offensive line, getting ready for this game. Talk about Case Keenum's comments.
Yeah, so Case Keenum now the backup. How does he feel about that? There's a lot of layers to the Rams this week, and we're going to dive into all of them over the course of the show because they're going to be home against Miami and, of course, Jared Goff getting the start. So new energy around the Rams with Jared Goff getting the start. But over at Notre Dame, just got finished with that game against Virginia Tech, and with that loss, Greg, they're not bowl eligible. There's no postseason for Notre Dame this year after losing 34-31.
Right. Well, Pep, I've been saying this for the past 4 or 5 weeks. Let's just focus on the wins. Let's not worry about whether we're going to go to a bowl, whether we're going to spend Christmas at home. Just play good football, and there's something about that Irish team right now. They play a good, strong first half against Virginia Tech, and then they just go flat. And you can't even put a finger on it. You heard Brian Kelly's post-game show. He just said he don't have any more excuses. He can't put a finger on what's going on with this team right now.
Yeah, they asked him, Coach Kelly, what's going on? And he's like, I just simply don't have any words to describe what's happening. They build a lead at home, and they just watch it slip away.
And did you love the home field? The snow was coming down nice and gracefully. 72 degrees yesterday in South Bend, and you wonder why I make home in Southern California now.
Well, you've talked about cold games before. Can you relate to those guys?
You know what? I can relate to those guys. I joked about it earlier today that I don't care to be the macho man. I put sleeves on. I stay warm.
Yeah.
I mean, these guys go out there, and it's something like. They said, I heard the wind chill was probably around the 28, 30. It dropped down to 30 degrees. It's cold at that point, and your blood thickens, and you don't stay warm. For Notre Dame, for this game, not only did it thicken, it takes the wind out of your cell being in the cold, and when you see yourself playing bad, that's something that it's just hard to correct. And unfortunately for Notre Dame right now, they're not correcting it.
A victory in their grasp. They knew the bowl eligibility thing was on the line, and to see it slip away, losing by 3 at home to Virginia Tech today. They're going to finish up the season next Saturday. The kickoff time is still up in the air, but they're going to play at USC.
Well, you know what? The Trojans are playing great football right now. They're trying to get themselves into the Pac-10 championship. Don't look for let's face it, the game is later this evening sometime against their interstate, the rivalry, crosstown rivalry.
Yeah.
They don't care about that crosstown rivalry. They're going to win, to do everything they can do to get into the Pac-12 championship game. And if they happen not to get in, so be it. They'll make do with it, and then they'll probably, hopefully don't put a hurting on Notre Dame. The last time Notre Dame played this bad coming into this game was with Tyrone Willingham, and I think they ran up the score about 62 points on us.
If you want to go back to 1963, only twice has Notre Dame finished with 4 wins or less. So that's dire straits right now for the Irish. So we're going to talk more Notre Dame football. Of course, the LA Rams. Jared Goff is the big story, but there's a lot of other layers going on with Los Angeles this week. So we're going to dive into it all right here on the Ford Legends Community Show.
Amazing Black Friday offers are here during the Ford year-end event. Get $1,000 Black Friday bonus cash on top of all other great offers. Or check out special year-end lease deals across the entire lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand. Not available on Mustang, Shelby, GT350, F-150 Raptor, Focus RS, Ford GT. Taking retail delivery from dealer stock by 11/30/2016. Sales claim based on 2015 calendar year sales.
There's a new game in town. The all-new Shumash Casino Resort. Now bigger, bolder, and more luxurious than ever. Our grand expansion features a dramatic new 12-story hotel tower, spectacular rooftop pool, giant gaming floor, and more. Amazing things are happening at Shumash Casino Resort in the Santa Barbara wine country. The new game in town. Visit ShumashCasino.com.
Hey Pep, have you heard of Siebens Healthcare Consultants? Siebens has been rethinking healthcare and servicing the community of Southern California for over 35 years, specializing in medical insurance, wellness, workers' compensation, and the need of an aging workforce. Siebens services here in Southern California are unmatched. For more information or to speak with someone about savings available to your corporation or business, call 877-766-5464. Again, that's 877-766-5464 and ask to speak with Kimberly.
Radio.
AM830.
Well, welcome back to the Ford Legends Community Show, sponsored here by the Chumash Casino Resort. And Pep, I keep telling you every week, you got to get on that 101 and get up north to the Chumash Casino Resort. Now bigger, bolder, and more entertaining than ever. Come experience the grand expansion of the Chumash Casino Resort in the Santa Barbara wine country. Pep, the new game in town.
Absolutely.
Well, of course, joining us right now without any hesitation, we'd like to introduce the Hall of Famer, Rosey Grier, joining us here on the Ford Legends Community Show. Rosey, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, and I'm not in the Hall of Fame.
Well, did I get that wrong?
Yeah, you got that wrong. I'm not in the Hall of Fame yet. I'm in New Jersey and that's California.
Well, you know what? You said the perfect words yet, because you got to get in there. We're going to start promoting that.
We'll start right here. The campaign begins today.
Definitely.
All right.
This is what I love about Rosey Grier. Not only was the top football players of all time, but a well-cultured Renaissance man. Rosey, there's so many layers to you. The television shows, the movies, the book. There was that, what was it, a Needlepoint for Men book. I mean, what do you do with your time these days?
Well, I'm having a great time. I go to church, and I spend a lot of time with people. When I was 7 years of age, I made a decision I was going to serve my fellow man. And, when I was in Georgia, I only got to go to school 3 days a week. And when I was 7 years of age, I was baptized in the Baptist church, and I decided that I was going to serve my fellow man. And that's what I've been doing all these years, working with people and trying to help causes when I see that they need help, and try to find other people that will help also.
Well, Rosey, I'm so happy to hear that, because, now I hear more and more. I had some, I guess you could say, an epiphany, because, we talked just briefly about my foundation, Athletes for Life, and I've said this for probably some over 30-some-odd years, that I've been a mentor. And I know exactly what you mean by you wanted to help others, and I always strive to help as many kids as possible. But I got an even bigger question for you, Rosey. What do you think is going wrong with our Rams right about now?
Well, I think they're excited. I think that they just changed quarterbacks, and not that I don't think the other guy was doing well, because I think he was doing well. But you see, if they would run like straight at the hole and let the back find his way, as opposed to they're trying to run corner from corner to corner.
Right.
You got to run straight at him and let him pick his hole, and he'll break open. And they have to, if they keep doing that, then the passing game will open up. Now because now you got a running game, and now they can run, pass, and the quarterback is a little bit taller, and he can see better. He's got a good arm, and I think they're going to be. I'm believing them to play in the Super Bowl.
Okay, we're going to stop just for 1 second. We got to get our station break right in here, Rosey.
Radio with you everywhere you go. The AM830 KLAA app is available now on your smartphone.
Download it from the Apple App Store or Google Play Store.
All right, we're back with you. I'm sorry about that. You know, when these football games run over, Rosey,
yeah.
And of course we followed Notre Dame, and they had such a bad game today.
They lost?
Not only did they lose, Rosey, it was almost. I tell you what, when you watch the Rams and you watch Notre Dame, you almost see they almost look like they're parallel because when you watch the Rams in the first half, we get out and we play pretty competitive.
Yeah.
But we seem to. The second half just seems to sneak up on us. You talked about it right before the break about this stretch offense. When you think about the game and how much has changed, do you think this stretch offense has been a positive change in football, or is it kind of like you said? We're seeing these running backs running lateral more than we are horizontal.
Right, and the game has changed. The guys get to work the whole year round. They're getting paid enough money, and but also here's something else I'm very, very concerned about. I want our guys to stand up for that flag. When that flag is come in and they start to sing the national anthem, I want all our ball players to stand up and salute the flag or stand at attention, whatever they need to do, put their hand over their heart, because we had a lot of guys that died in wars to give these guys the opportunity to make the kind of money that they're making and have the freedom that we have in this country.
Well, Rosey, we're so glad that you're a man of strong convictions. And how did you balance being a guy who wanted to help other people and lift other people up, and at the same time you're one of the fearsome Foursome? You're trying to get to the quarterback and take his block off. You know what I mean? How did you balance those two sides of your personality?
Well, the idea is this: when I play someone, if it was a best friend, in fact, I talked to a friend of mine the other day, was Lenny Moore. Lenny Moore and I went to college together, and when I played Lenny Moore, I would try to tear him up. They had a play that he'd be sitting back there, and they'd try to pass off to him, and I said, Lenny, I'm going to kill you every time you do that. He said, I'll be back. I'll be back. But what I wanted to do was to play hard, play to win, but play fair. I used to get mad at some of my ball players. I remember Jim Brown. I stopped him so many times from trying to twist his leg on the pile up. I saved Johnny Unitas, had him, could have broken his legs, stopped them. I said, coming up. And some of my guys fussed at me, but I want to play the game fair. I want to play the win with the best guys they have on the field. I want to do that. And the Fearsome Foursome, we stayed together not only from the time we started playing together, but until the three other guys died. We were all together always.
Yeah, when I got a chance, of course, when I was here to see and get to know Deke a little bit. I didn't get a chance to know the other two as well, but the one thing I can say for a fact is the camaraderie that you guys had. I wonder sometimes, is that camaraderie around nowadays?
Well, I think they do have that. I just think that the guys, when they make a sack, they're jumping up and down and all that stuff. It's okay, but sometimes they're losing and they're still doing the same thing. When you win, you can do that. When you lose, no, don't do that.
Rosey Grier here joining us on the Ford Legends Community Show. And Rosey, let me ask you, being one of the Fearsome Foursome, what do you think of the Rams' current defensive line? Because it looks like they're the area of the team that's really carried the team so far in these low-scoring defensive battles.
They are so good. I watch these guys, and they are really, really good. And they're not playing. They're really playing. And I like that. That's the thing. You got to have a good defense in order to win. The other thing I tell the guys, if you don't see the ball, why are you moving? If you look at the ball, always watch the ball. If you got a guy who's going to run on you, you have a spy, and then keep him inside. Always keep him. Don't let him get out. Let anybody get outside. And that, to me, would be a key to making sure that you contain the running quarterbacks.
Well, let me ask this question, Rosey, because even though you didn't play on the offensive side, probably since you were probably in high school, when you hear the complaints that are going on right now with the Rams, so much is being put on that offensive line. How much of the woes do you think right now are on this offensive line? Because, like you said earlier, the system has to take some of the responsibility, and so does Todd Gurley.
Yes. I just think that the line is they're good enough. It's just a matter of working and believing in yourself. You got to believe that I can take that guy. If you work him, one day you're going to break him down. See, you got to outwork and be in better shape than they are. Play the game always, and you'll find yourself that after a while, he said, "I can't take this." I remember one time I had not broke my arm, but my ligaments was torn in my arm, and I was playing with one arm. And the guy said, "I can take Rosey Grier." So I sent word to Lenny Moore to tell his teammate he's going to get a whooping.
Hey, Rosey, one more final question.
Yes.
I'm just curious. I think you said in the beginning of the interview that you could see the Rams in the Super Bowl. Was that right?
Yes.
And why do you think that?
Because it's sitting there waiting. Somebody got to go. Might as well be the Rams. And all you got to do is play ball from now on.
Well, Rosey, we thank you for stopping out here for the Four Legends Community Show here at KLAA 830. Rosey, I appreciate your time, trying to get our schedules all worked out and also trying to deal with the Notre Dame loss. But we appreciate you for stopping by today.
I appreciate you guys, and have a great day, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rosey.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
What a great guy.
Man.
And he said the Rams could win the Super Bowl, Greg. You heard it. You heard it here first.
We all say that. Until you play the game, you have a chance to win. And what the Rams got to do right now, and I've told you this before. Remember what he said? Did you hear him talking about how hard you work in practice?
Yeah.
What did we say all season? They don't really do a lot in practice because of the new CBA, and that could be part of the problems.
Well, they're still right there at 4-5. They got to chase down Seattle. They're still in the playoff picture, but they need to get things going right now with the offense to really make a serious playoff push.
We got to.
All right, when we come back, we're going to have more Rams talk, and we'll break down their game against the Miami Dolphins coming up on Sunday. Jared Goff starting as quarterback. And also, there's a lot of other storylines, Greg, with the Rams taking place this week. We'll break it all down when we come back here on the Ford Legends Community Show.
Amazing Black Friday offers are here during the Ford year-end event. Get $1,000 Black Friday bonus cash on top of all other great offers. Or check out special year-end lease deals across the entire lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand. Not available on Mustang, Shelby, GT350, F-150 Raptor, Focus RS, Ford GT. Taking retail delivery from dealer stock by 11/30/2016. Sales claim based on 2015 calendar year sales.
There's a new game in town. The all-new Shumash Casino Resort. Now bigger, bolder, and more luxurious than ever. Our grand expansion features a dramatic new 12-story hotel tower, spectacular rooftop pool, giant gaming floor, and more. Amazing things are happening at Shumash Casino Resort in the Santa Barbara wine country. The new game in town. Visit ShumashCasino.com.
If your corporation or business has been looking for a better medical insurance, wellness, or workers' compensation plan, you should be calling the consultants at Siebens Healthcare. They have been specializing in healthcare for over 35 years right here in Southern California. When you call 877-766-5464, you'll be entered into a raffle for a free fitness device. So be sure to call Siebens Healthcare Consultants at 877-766-5464 and ask to speak with Kimberly. Siebens, rethinking health, impacting your future healthcare needs.
And welcome back to the Ford Legends Community Show. More Rams talk coming up. I'm Pep Fernandez.
Hey, guys, and I'm Greg Bell. To be a legend in the community, you got to be a part of the community for a while. And let me tell you, the Southern California Ford dealers are legends. I remember back in my playing day, and I'm proud that they are sponsors of the show right here. Ford is a leader in automotive technology. I know, because I drive a Ford Fusion Energy myself. So stop on by the local Ford dealers to get some of that legendary treatment.
All right, Greg, let's talk Jared Goff. That's what everybody's talking about.
Yeah,
when the news broke earlier this week, it was kind of a strange situation because I think head coach Jeff Fisher came out on Monday and said, no, Case Keenum's our guy. This team has some issues, but Case Keenum's not the issue. There's a lot of things going on. And then Tuesday morning rolls around and, no, Jared Goff's our guy.
Cronky.
You think the owner said, listen, I pay the bills. I disconnect the cable and turn the lights out. I'm the boss. We're playing Jared
You know
Goff.
what? Anytime anybody makes a 360-degree turn like that, and not 24 hours, but 12 hours.
Yeah, less than 24.
Let me tell you what. That meant there was a call that came down, and you know, not only are you trying to keep your position with the team, but you're going to have to start to play our players. And I think management had to say something at some point. It has to be said. I think management had to have gotten involved.
Because this whole time, I mean, Jeff Fisher's really backed Case Keenum. He hasn't been, I wouldn't say bad, you know what I mean? He hasn't really been the guy to make plays on offense, but he hasn't necessarily been bad, and Jeff Fisher's had his back this whole time. And then as of, Monday afternoon, Monday night, he was like, yeah, you know, Case Keenum's still our starter.
Well, did you see Case's interview when they asked him, you know, when did you find out? He said, when the coach told me. Yeah, and are you happy about it? And he's no. I mean, let's be honest. Nobody wants to be demoted.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Case Keenum knew coming into this season he was going to have to do something far above his own head. And he's just probably been mediocre right now. I mean, let's be honest. When he's up having a great game, the receivers don't always have the great game, so they got drops. When he's not having a great game and, you know, Kenny Britt's making good plays, nobody is really stretching the field for this Los Angeles Ram team. And when you don't stretch the field, of course, it makes the running game look bad. The line has been mediocre. Everybody has been playing pretty much average at this point in the game. And, you know, we were excited when they were 3-1 because they were just 3-1, not because of the football was so it's just exciting to go watch. But this is a good team. They've got good coaches working with them. It's all about gelling and doing it at the same time. And I think that's probably the biggest problem with the Rams right now is that when the defense is kicking behind, the offense is sputtering.
Still need those points.
They still need points.
And if you're Case Keenum, the writing was on the wall, right, Greg? I mean, because if you draft a quarterback number 1 overall, you trade away all those draft picks, it's just a matter of time. It's not if, it's going to be when Jared Goff's going to actually get in there.
Right, and I think he knows that, and I think Case Keenum has been doing the one thing that you have to say admirably about him is that he's been competing.
Yeah.
And he's been doing his job because guess what? At some point in the game, his contract is going to end. Somebody's going to be looking for a starter or backup guy to continue his career. You know, I hate to say it this way, but a lot of times people tend to forget this is his career. This is his job. To be able to play his job for 18 years would be a blessing because most guys don't get, I think the average age of an NFL guy is 3-4 years?
Yeah.
And that's what the goal is. And on top of it, we want to win, but people have to remember this is his job, this is his career. And he wants to have a long career at it. So he's been out there doing the best that he can do with the tools that he has that he was born with. And on top of it, with the best that he's been provided in terms of, you know, running mates.
Yeah. I'm very anxious to see Jared Goff. We went to a preseason game against Kansas City, and he couldn't even get out of his own way. He was fumbling the ball. He was tripping on his own feet. I was like, oh, my gosh, this is a train wreck. This is not going to be good. Maybe there's stuff going on at practice that we don't see that, you know, Jeff Fisher's optimistic. Like you said, there's probably some pressure from above him to get Goff in there. So I'm just curious. I'm actually very, very anxious to see Jared Goff in the lineup.
The one thing the Rams fans and Rams supporters have to be happy about, this isn't the Dallas Cowboys, because Jerry talks.
Yeah.
We very often don't see Stan Kroenke outside of being on the sideline. He is probably what you would call the perfect owner. He stays quiet. He hired people to be in front of the cameras. His role is to say, I own the team and I stay behind it. But, you know, at some point in the game, we know that he is the owner. He's the one cutting the checks. He's the one that's, saying yes or no. And at some point, he's got to take ownership of the team.
Numbers don't lie. So, Greg, here the Rams are last in the NFL at 15 points per game. 15. And they are 31st in the NFL, so one before last, with 308 yards per game. So as great as the defense has been, as great as Zuerlein and Johnny Hekker, the kickers, have been, they still need points. I mean, bottom line, you need to score.
Did you see Hecker's punt?
Yeah.
What was it, 74 yards?
Unbelievable. That's why he's the best,
When you got quality special team guys, generally sometimes that's where you get a lax in play. But the Rams have, right now, it's really about the offense, getting them all on the same page. And how Jeff Fisher does that, I'm not sure, but he's got to find a way.
Have the defense and the special teams set up the offense in good field position, right? Try to make life easy on Jared Goff. Mm-hmm. Have the receivers actually step up, make some plays for Jared Goff.
Catch the ball.
Yes.
No more drops, man.
It's killing them.
It's killing them.
And then plus, Todd Gurley still has not rushed for 100 yards in a game this season.
And might not.
What's going on? Is it the offensive line? I mean, is it Todd Gurley? I read all the remarks from head coach Jeff Fisher every single week, and every single week he says, I'm pleased with Gurley. You can see he's picking up some yards. It's been difficult, but he's still doing a great job. You can see flashes of his explosion. But really, is it just lip service?
Well, I think at this point, we've all heard enough of it. I mean, after making a 12-hour shift, we know there's a lot of lip service going on right now.
All right, so, Greg, when we come back, breaking news on the Rams today with one of their players.
Yeah.
Robert Quinn,
checks himself into the hospital.
Weird circumstances this week, and groundbreaking for the new stadium. So we still got a lot to get to here on the Ford Legends Community Show.
Amazing Black Friday offers are here during the Ford year-end event. Get $1,000 Black Friday bonus cash on top of all other great offers. Or check out special year-end lease deals across the entire lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand. Not available on Mustang, Shelby, GT350, F-150 Raptor, Focus RS, Ford GT. Taking retail delivery from dealer stock by 11/30/2016. Sales claim based on 2015 calendar year sales.
There's a new game in town. The all-new Shumash Casino Resort. Now bigger, bolder, and more luxurious than ever. Our grand expansion features a dramatic new 12-story hotel tower, spectacular rooftop pool, giant gaming floor, and more. Amazing things are happening at Shumash Casino Resort in the Santa Barbara wine country. The new game in town. Visit shumashcasino.com.
Hey Pep, have you heard of Siebens Healthcare Consultants? Siebens has been rethinking healthcare and servicing the community of Southern California for over 35 years, specializing in medical insurance, wellness, workers' compensation, and the need of an aging workforce. Siebens services here in Southern California are unmatched. For more information or to speak with someone about savings available to your corporation or business, call 877-766-5464. Again, that's 877-766-5464 and ask to speak with Kimberly.
Welcome back to the Ford Legends Community Show here at KLAA.
That's right.
Hey, 8:30 a.m. Of course, it's sponsored by the Chumash Casino Resort. Up in the Santa Barbara wine country. Pep, when are you going to get up to the Santa Barbara wine country?
I'm going to go up there for a high school football game, I think, pretty soon. Then I'll hit up Chumash while I'm up there.
Yeah, go 101 to the 246. Make that right, man. Get on down there to the new game in town. It's new, bigger, bolder, more entertaining, and probably the nicest thing, Pep, of all of it, you can win some money.
That's a great thing. I know how to spend a lot. I'd rather make some in return. All right, let's go back to the Rams, Greg. So Robert Quinn, on Monday, I think it was Monday morning,
right.
The team returned from their road trip, and Robert Quinn, I got a random release from the Rams saying he was in the hospital.
Right.
What do you know? What did you hear about this? It's kind of a bizarre situation.
Some people thought it was back to when he was in college. He had that I want to say brain surgery. but there's still not been any true answer. I mean, I don't like making hypotheticals.
Yeah.
I don't like guessing. I like people to come out and say, this is what happened. He had a seizure. He did this, that. Let's take the question marks out of it. At some point, the Rams will probably address it. We'll see if he plays this weekend, because that's still a question mark as well.
Yeah, scary situation. We just hope everything's good with him. But Robert Quinn, one of the stars on the defensive line.
One of the stars. They got 4.
Yeah, well, Aaron Donald's the ringleader,
Right.
but yeah, he's a stud. Robert Quinn's a stud too.
And they talked about it. I think when we think about this, they talk about him having that great season about 3-4 years ago. Of course, he's on an extension now, but his play has been diminishing every year now, and now you start to wonder, is this the reason why?
Yeah, so we'll see if what's the deal with Robert Quinn. But yeah, it was kind of a bizarre situation on Monday, just knowing that he was checked into a hospital and no one really knew the circumstances surrounding that.
Let me tell you what, Pep. When I was at the Rams, I had a hiatal hernia. I checked myself in the hospital about 3 o'clock in the morning too, because I thought I was having a heart attack. Guys could check themselves in the hospital for a multitude of reasons, but the bottom line is, at the end of the day, you got to kind of air it out a little bit. And I think right now, from where I'm sitting, I want to know what's going on. I want to know what's going on with Quinn. What is the diagnosis? And really, until we hear that, we're all kind of guessing.
So from your perspective, when you checked yourself in the hospital, did it register to you pretty quickly that, you know what, I got to notify the team? They probably have no idea I'm in a hospital right now. Or was it like, you know what, I just got to get myself better and then I'll let them know what happened?
No, you have a protocol. I mean, when we got into the hospital, I checked myself into the hospital, and the first thing I did was, I called my ex-wife and I told her, I said, look, make sure to let the Rams know why I'm not going to be at practice tomorrow. Because I'm sorry, Pep. I told you already, I don't like being fined.
Yeah. You're like, listen, I'm in the hospital. Do not find me. This is legit. I'm not skipping school.
Man.
The other thing, this is on a very serious note. Troy Hill, a defensive back for the Rams, DUI.
You know what?
And he's inactive. He's inactive for the Miami game on Sunday.
Yeah, but I'll tell you one of the things, and like I've told you many times, with Athletes for Life, and I've told parents and I've told kids, in my lifetime I've never partaken in any alcohol. I've never been a drinker, so I'm always very conscious about the little things in life. And I'm sorry to say, I gotta wonder where your mind is, because Uber and Lyft are 2 of the biggest companies in the world now. All of a sudden, for one reason, that the everyday person does not want to get behind the wheel intoxicated.
Yeah.
They take Uber, and some of them can't afford it. Just like Rosey just said, these guys are making great money. I'm not quite sure why they don't use these services. They've been around for years. I can remember when the NFL was actually, teams were paying for limo companies to go pick you up or drive you. I will never understand why you're going to get behind the wheel intoxicated. And in his case, here I'm hypothetical on this one. Did you hear he was swerving around and ran into the back of a truck? Now, that's not a little intoxicated.
Yeah.
That's somebody that is probably a little bit more inebriated than we think. And my heart goes out to him that he's breathing. But you got to be very conscious. You're under a microscope. I don't have I'm not the nicest guy when these are the kind of crimes that you're involved in.
Obviously, driving under the influence is not okay in any circumstance. To compound that, he was picked up for the DUI on Saturday morning. That's the morning before the game.
Yeah.
And he's out doing whatever. So, it's a very concerning situation for the Rams.
Well, here's the biggest part from the Rams standpoint, why it's so concerning, because it becomes a distraction. Anything that can distract you 24 hours before you're really trying to get yourself back into the groove. You get a win last week in New York, you start to feel the effect of, oh, this feels good. I'm telling you, when you lose 3 in a row and you win one, you think yourself, I can exhale, I can breathe again. And then all of a sudden you get this, and you're just like, oh, it just takes the wind out of your sail.
You want some good news, Greg?
Yes,
I do. They broke ground on the new stadium in Inglewood. $2.6 billion. 2019, they'll actually move in and start playing.
Pep, it started out at $1 billion, and now it's 2.
They got to, you got to add the extra bathrooms. They added the gold-plated this.
The lake in front.
You probably built houses before, right? Like
yeah,
you add this and that.
You know what? Not to this magnitude. I think, Kroenke, when he first came in here, the whole goal was to put a stadium. and now it's grown into a community.
Yeah.
In Inglewood.
Is it like condos and restaurants and shopping?
Man. And there's a lot of glamour to it. Put it this way, he became La-La. This is a La-La stadium with a lake in front of it that's like a pond. It's going to be the charm of the National Football League. But, man, $2.6 billion is
that's a good chunk of change right there.
That's a change that I'd like to have some of.
So they're saying that 2019 the Rams will move in and play there, but everything else, like all those other things that you mentioned, those other things might not be done. The whole community thing might not be done, but the stadium will be ready to go for the Rams to move in 2019.
Right.
So
definitely, and I can guarantee the retail property will be ready to go too.
Oh my gosh,
that's revenue for him.
All that foot traffic at the stadium, come on.
Yeah,
restaurants, shopping.
It will be ready.
Man, money's going to be flowing around that place, right?
Flowing.
It's going to be a gold mine. So the Rams taking on the Miami Dolphins at the Coliseum on Sunday. The Dolphins coming off a win in San Diego. They've stayed on the West Coast, probably to stay fresh, ready to go. So they beat the Chargers last week. Now they're playing the Rams. And, Greg, we're running out of time, but what are the keys to the game? See the Rams pick up another win.
I tell you what, the key to the game, more than anything on this one, is going to be stopping the running back for Miami, stopping their running game.
They've got a run game now.
Yeah, they've got a serious run game, and not only are they running very efficiently, but when Tannehill has that kind of support, he looks like a better quarterback than I really thought he would be. And he's playing good football right now. Miami's playing good competitive football right now. That whole AFC East is playing very competitive. Yeah. And Miami sees themselves as a playoff team. And so I need Donald, I need Quinn, I need that defensive front line to play like they've been playing. And hopefully we get a surgent from Jeff Goff. I'd love to see Gurley go over 100 yards this week.
He really needs to, right? To help Jared Goff out in his debut.
They need to put the ball 30 times in his hand. I hate to tell you that, Gurley, because sometimes you say you don't want to run 30. This is that time they need you for about 30, 32 carries, and maybe just 32 touches. Let's say it that way, because Jared's going to be able to get that ball out of his hand quickly on screens to you.
I suspect it's going to be low scoring. Miami's got a great defense. We know the Rams got a great defense. They'll probably ease Jared Goff in there. So we'll see what happens as the Rams try to get back to the 500 mark on the season. We got to thank Rosey Grier from the Fearsome Foursome for joining us here on the show today.
What a good that's a good guy there, man.
Super good guy, man. And couldn't thank him enough. And once again, Notre Dame losing against Virginia Tech today.
Too bad.
For Greg Bell, I'm Pep Fernandez. We'll see you next Saturday on the Ford Legends Community Show.
Amazing Black Friday offers are here during the Ford year-end event. Get $1,000 Black Friday bonus cash on top of all other great offers. Or check out special year-end lease deals across the entire lineup of Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs. Save big on Ford, America's best-selling brand. Not available on Mustang, Shelby, GT350, F-150 Raptor, Focus RS, Ford GT. Taking a retail delivery from dealer stock by 11/30/2016. Sales claim based on 2015 calendar year sales.
Was a paid program. Opinions expressed are those of the program sponsors and not necessarily the views of AM830, its owners, or management.
This weekend at